resurrection established the covenant. Verse 34, neither was there any among them that lacked. For as many as were possessors of lands, there you go, houses, cars, or houses, sold them and brought the price of those sales, of those things that were sold, verse 35, and laid them down at the shlichim's feet, and then distributions were made to every man according to his need. Can we talk? There are people who can give $5,000 to our ministry, listening to the radio right now. You know why they don't? They don't trust me. Let's be honest. They don't trust Rabbi Moshe. No problem. You know what that tells me? Either I'm not trustworthy, or I am trustworthy, but they're not being filled with the Ruach for the commonwealth of Israel. And the great favor that Yahweh wants to give them is being withheld from them. So that person sitting next to you is your opportunity to become financially independent. Find brothers and sisters in the house of Yahweh and take care of them, nurture them, provide for them, use your talents, your hands, your feet, your Yahweh-given abilities to serve one another, and then whatever you have in terms of sale of homes, cars, or other real holdings, lay it at the feet of the shlichim. Not at the church, not at the First Baptist Church, at the feet of the shlichim. Because Yahweh trusts his leaders to what? To make the distributions to every man according to what? He has need. Isn't that interesting? Now look at verse 36. And Yosef, who by the shlichim was surnamed what? Barnava, which is being interpreted Barnabas, the son of encouragement, a Levite of the country of Cyprus. He had a field, he sold it, he brought the money and placed it at the disposal of the shlichim. In other words, when Yosef from the house of Levi, exactly the opposite of Eli from the house of Levi. Here we have Yosef from the house of Levi showing us how to conduct our financial operations in the kingdom, exactly 180 degrees opposite of Eli, the Levite that we read about in 1 Shmuel earlier in this teaching. You see the contrast? Here we had a Levite, Yosef, named Barnava, which is being interpreted what? The son of encouragement, consolation, of the country of Cyprus, had a field, he sold it, he didn't play games, he didn't use it for himself, he didn't just use it for his children, he brought the money, he placed it at the disposal of the shlichim and the Ruach HaKodesh. In other words, here is what I have, it is at the kingdom's disposal. You see the difference between the book of Acts and the book of 2008? People want to know why the dead aren't raised. People want to know why the blind don't see. People want to know why the sick aren't healed. Here's your answer. Here's one of the answers. We don't walk in the trust that they walked in. They walked in a higher level of trust. Because whatever they had, they laid at the disposal of the kingdom. And we are just a bunch of oink-oinks sometimes. Let's be honest. You and I. Not you. I'm not preaching at you. I'm saying we're all like that. If we want their power, we have to have their acts. The acts of the apostles. Not the acts of the independent contractors. Not the acts of the 1099s. Not the acts of people who don't trust any ministry to give financially and sow into their ministry for the common good of others. No. So here was a man who was a Levite who did the right thing. He didn't hoard up his land and his house and his possessions just for his little family and his little fiefdom, but he laid it at the disposal of the kingdom and said, kingdom, king's kids, shlichim, please, it is at your disposal. Distribute it how the Ruach HaKodesh leads you. You with me, Brett? That's power. That's power to trust Yahweh. And when you have that power to trust Yahweh with the things that He's given you, He will give you the miracles that accompany that trust. But we want full miracles with a half trust or a half commitment. It don't work that way. Walk on the water, darling. You want a radio ministry? Start the radio ministry and start walking on the water. That's how you have a radio ministry. You want a TV ministry? Go on TV. Don't wait for the funds. Yahweh's work, done Yahweh's way, never lacks Yahweh's provision. Start walking on the water and Yeshua will come to you on the water. But first you've got to walk on the water. There's no secret to ministry. That's how this ministry was built. We bought the chairs before we had the people. That's how ministry is done. You walk by faith and not by sight. And now we have the contrast. Acts, Maaseh Shlichim, Acts chapter 5, verse 1 through 5. Remember, there were no chapters in the original Bible, so it goes right from Acts, showing you the son of consolation, the great Jewish Levite Barnabas, the son of encouragement. And why was he called the son of encouragement? Because everything he had was given to encourage others, to bless others, to admonish others, to be a provider for the commonwealth. So he was known, oh, that's not just Barnabas, that's the son of encouragement. Hey, pass by me, son of encouragement, and encourage me, because I'm down. So whatever he had was used to what? To build up and to encourage others. So he was known as the son of encouragement. Baruch Hashem, Yahweh. But in contrast, there was another couple in the Kehillah. We see them in Maaseh Shlichim 5:1. But in contrast, turn to your neighbor and say, in contrast, a certain man named Hananiah, with Sapphira, his wife, that's Ananias and Sapphira, sold a field and kept back part of the proceeds. Meaning they were playing games. They weren't using it for the commonwealth. They were just chiseling Yahweh and chiseling Yahweh's people. They kept back part of the proceeds, his wife also knowing all about it in conspiracy, and they brought a certain part, not the full amount, a certain part and laid it at the Shlichim's feet. And Kiva said, Hananiah, why has Satan filled your lave, your heart to lie to the Ruach HaKodesh, to keep back part of the price of the field? You claimed you gave it all to us, but you didn't. While it remained in your care, was it not your own? After it was sold, was it not under your own authority? Why have you conceived this thing in your lave, your heart? You have not lied to man, but to the Ruach HaKodesh, which is Yahweh. So you have not lied to man, but to Yahweh. Read the warning. While there was a time when the things in your life was under your own authority. But there comes a time when you are part of the commonwealth of Israel, that things are no longer under your authority. Let's read that again. While it remained in your care, meaning before you were aware of the commonwealth of Israel principle, it was your own. But after it was sold and you became aware of the common needs of Israel, was it not under your own authority? Yeah, you kept it under your own authority. And you have conceived this thing in your heart. You have not lied to men, but to Yahweh. In other words, when we understand what Yahweh requires of us, these things are no longer under our authority. Your TV, your material blessings, your food, everything Yahweh has given you. You're saved, you're part of a community, you're part of the commonwealth of Israel. It's no longer under your authority. It's under the authority of the king and his shlichim. Question is, are you ready to lay all these things at their disposal? Is it difficult? Yes. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But this is the only way in the kingdom to have all your needs taken care of. You with me? Seek first the kingdom of Yahweh. Not the king is rich. The king doesn't need anything. So when Yahweh talks about the king, the kingdom, who's he talking about? You and me, right? Seek first the kingdom, and everything else will be added to you. In other words, bad news. The great mirage, the great deception, all these things Yahweh has given you with, the human perspective is they are all under my authority. But Barnabas knew They were no longer under his authority. And we need to know that same thing. Zevach Todah minus Kim.